We've seen you come back from defeats before, right? To win titles before. We've seen you rebuild before as well. I know it's a tough question to ask after that type of fight, but we are going to see another rebuild, aren't we, AJ?
Yeah, I think, you know what it is, before I came here, I'm always saying to myself, I'm a fighter for life. We rolled the dice at success and we came up short, and we roll it again, innit? You know what I mean? We keep rolling the dice.
This clip was a whole year ago after Daniel Dubois knocked out Anthony Joshua in 5 rounds. Since that night, AJ has been missing, not being seen in a fight since 2024. And now we're at the end of 2025 and we still haven't seen him back in the ring. No walkouts, no fight weeks, no gloves laced up, just silence. And the questions that won't go away: what happened to Anthony Joshua and what comes next for him? Has he retired? Who's he fighting next? Nobody knows.
I've read you've got surgery coming up this month on your elbow. So what sort of time period is that once you've had that surgery, are you kind of can't train for or stuck throwing punches?
I think you can't train for like 2 weeks. Because obviously after someone putting machines in your arm, they're obviously going to go in. Long story short, the bone in the joint is free at the minute, right? This is my left arm. It's nice and free. But over a period of time, there's a signal that gets sent to the brain, like, keeps on jamming. What's going on? We need to grow some more bone to protect this area. But ultimately, I need it to be free because of my job. But it's like my body's doing the right thing, getting stronger to protect itself from this trauma that keeps happening. So over a period of time, what they tend to do is they go in with a small little like drill, a thin little drill, keyhole surgery, go into the elbow and just file it down. Nice and precise, but you just got to make sure you do your rehab, do all your strength work as well, because after a surgery you need to focus on making sure you get the range of motion back. And then once it's fully healed, you ice it, acupuncture, strengthen it, good as new, back to work basically. But during that period of time, you don't just shut down, because if the right hand's out of action, you still use your left, you practice your doubles, triple jabs, jabbing off time, jabbing off, jabbing to the body, left hooks to the body, left uppercuts. Practice your head movement, can practice your feet, and do some technical sparring and stuff. So there's a lot of work that can still be done in the meantime.
So this interview was back in May 2025, just before his actual elbow surgery. And going further on in this interview, he actually explains his opinion, his perspective of being out for a whole year in the boxing world.
Josh, will it bother you that by the time you get back into the ring, you might have had a whole year out of the ring?
It's been needed, you know. I think it's been needed because, long story short, I've got active mind. For me, I think taking 2 sets back has given me a chance to take a bird's eye view of everything that's going on in my life, you know. So I am not only just taking a year out of the ring, just sitting on my ass and like enjoying the 12 years or 13 years as a professional. It's like, yo, let me take some time out to actually restructure what's going on in my life. Because when you're fully immersed in the game, you never really like get to look, just constantly going forward. So,
but why? Why does Anthony Joshua still want to fight? He's won everything. He's been at the top of the game for 12 to 13 years. He's just lost against Dubois a whole year ago, a whole year off. And it's like, you don't need to fight anymore. You've made so much money that your family's good. You made generational wealth, but you still want to fight. What could be the reason why for this? And I have the answers for this. The first reason why he still wants to fight is just because he loves boxing. And don't get me wrong, if it was me and I've made all that money, I'm leaving. I'm out of there. You think I'm still fighting after making all that money? But that's the difference between a fan and a boxing legend like him, or soon to be a boxing legend. But then the second reason why he still wants to fight is because all of those legacy fights that he hasn't had, all them big fights that just never happened in the boxing world for him. For instance, he's been trying to fight Tyson Fury for many years, been signing loads of contracts, and that just hasn't happened. But then he also had that Dylan White fight that he wasn't able to do. Small type of rivalry with Wilder. So there are a lot of legacy fights that he still wants to do in boxing, and there's the young bucks now like Moses, Itama. So there's fights for him there.
Say being remembered as among the greats.
Because I don't care about that. Because no one in this room will remember certain athletes years ago. Time don't stop. I'll only be remembered after boxing, even if I was one of the all-time great. 100 years max. You know what I mean? Time goes, so I'm not trying to put myself in people's mindset.
Although Anthony Joshua still wants to fight for fighting's sake and to build his legacy even more, and just for the love of the game, love of the sport, there's a few people that believe that he should stop fighting and call it a day.
I think for Anthony Joshua, coming from a place of love, I think Anthony Joshua has got nothing else to prove in this game, and he should rather walk away than hang about and wait for someone to turn him over.
That Anthony Joshua is finished, he's done. He's had a fantastic career in terms of the old bunts. He was great for boxing back then. His legacy, he'll be remembered for bringing boxing straight into the forefront and bringing boxing back to mainstream stadium fight. But he's had his career, he's made his money, and he's got found out. As soon as he stepped up in class, and before he even stepped up in class, he got flattened, didn't he? He got flattened by Andy Ruiz. But then he stepped up against Usyk, got outclassed twice, badly beaten up and done, and then he's been fucking ironed out, finished, El Sparko against Dubois. So that, for me, is all she wrote. That should be the end of AJ's career. I've no interest in it. Don't want to see him fight again.
Harsh words, but if the truth, like, he's done everything in the game, and this is the perfect time for him to retire as one of the greatest. You don't want to retire knowing that you've got 50 wins and, for an example, 50 wins and 8 losses, and all the losses was when you're on the decline. Why don't you just leave at the top and be the best at the top? Why do you want to jeopardize it? But I understand the money's good and you just love the fighting, but then you might ruin the legacy. If Mayweather carried on fighting now, he would have at least 3 losses to his name. But everyone's going to remember Mayweather as the greatest for having only no losses, and that's just a hard thing to achieve. So that's one of the problems Anthony Joshua might have to face in his upcoming fights, of just wondering, is he even worth it anymore?
Who do we say AJ fights? What we got? We've got Parker. I mean, do you want to see it? I think Parker beats him. We got Dillian White. I mean, the Dillian White fight was supposed to happen again, but it's going backwards, isn't it? I mean, he beat Dillian White with a quality win as well, all them years ago. Was it 10 years ago? I didn't even know. It was that long ago. We were supposed to get the rematch. It never happened. Do I want to see AJ fight Dillian White again? Dillian White, I think, is about finished. Put a tumour in there. I won't put AJ in with a tumour because, for me, that'll be another beatdown. Sounds like a bad AJ beating, doesn't it? But
well, who does AJ fight next? It has been confirmed recently that he is fighting Jake Paul, the YouTuber, on the 19th of December. If that really happens, we'll find out sooner or later, because at the moment of recording, this is the 20th of November, so we never know. Jake Paul might decide to call it a day and not actually fight an actual Anthony Joshua. In my opinion, he's going to get smoked, but that's just my opinion. But I'll let the promoter explain AJ's next year's plan for 2026.
What do you want him to do? And forget the legacy chat for a minute, because you can't eat legacy. And I hate the chat as well of, oh, he's got a load of money. Why? This isn't, you're not talking about, I'll give you an example. And this is going to be as truthful as it gets. We were going to fight in end of November or December in an 8-round fight against a bloke you've never heard of, right? For a decent sort of...
Who was it?
I'm not going through that, but it's a top 100 guy, a 100 guy on BoxRec, right? And he would have made, there was no money involved. Call it $1 million, right? Or we can go out and we can do it against Mr. Paul for 50 times as much money. And by the way, in the process, we can stick one on this geezer I don't particularly like either, and we can do it in front of the whole world. And then we can go forward to the real stuff in 2026, which is really important to us, which is fighting in February and then fighting Tyson Fury or trying to get a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. I can't be more honest than that.
Anthony Joshua's next 2 fights are likely to be against Jake Paul and then Tyson Fury.
No, because I don't know if we'll fight Jake Paul yet, But next year, we will fight in February, and then we will fight Tyson Fury if Turki Al Sheikh delivers on his plans and strategies.